So I got this pan and tilt head that was sent to me for review. I don't know if you know anything about what these things do or what they, what they're about, but I'm gonna try to keep this as simple as possible. Basically, they allow you to get smooth up and down, side to side shots. If you're doing video, if you're doing pictures, it just allows you to set and move your positioning. That's pretty much it. I totally forgot my intro. What's up, everybody? It's Meech. You're tuned into On the Radar, where we cover health, fitness, and tech. Currently on the radar is the Commlite CM-FH01, and out of the box you get the head itself, the quick release plate, and the control arm. You attach by screwing the head onto your tripod. The more sturdy and heavy your tripod is, the better. I will get into that a little bit later. The arm you can attach to either side depending on your preference. Lastly, just mount your camera to your quick release plate, then slide it onto the head. You fasten it, and now you're ready to rock and roll. You're good. You have this adjustment knob that controls the fluidness of the up and down movement, and the screw right here to adjust the fluidness of the left and right pan movement. The head itself is built very solidly. It's all metal with the knobs being plastic. I would wish that the knobs wasn't plastic, but it is what it is. You have screw mounts on the left side to mount attachments like friction arms, mounting anything like your lights, monitors, basically whatever you need to mount. You have 2 access points. I have a point of reference when using these types of heads because I have a cheaper one I've been using for years, and then I have a more expensive one I've been using for probably 4 to 5 months. This Commlite one lies in the middle of those two in terms of price, build quality, and effectiveness. You can tilt on this very smoothly, and you get full up and down range, as well as complete 360 degrees left to right. One good thing about this head is it allows you to mount a heavier payload safely without worrying about stuff popping off. For instance, with my cheaper tripod head, the way it connects, depending on what I'm attaching to it, if I attach stuff that's too heavy, it'll pop out. And I've been in that situation. This is why I had to upgrade to, better heads. But you definitely have to, be mindful of that. And that's also where it comes into play, where the wider, heavier duty tripods you need for the more equipment, the more stuff you're doing. Like I said, for instance, like if I'm using just a cage with a whole bunch of different equipment, my lavalier microphones, let's say I'm using a teleprompter, just all the different stuff that you may be mounting to a tripod, you need to make sure your head and the tripod can fully support all of this stuff. And with that, I have many different tripods. I probably have about 6 tripods in all for different sizes, different price ranges, all just for different things. But anyway, that's for another video. I wasn't initially happy with the head at first, but then I calmed down. I got to play around with it and got to get a better feel for it, because the first thing that I noticed was the cons. There was a couple of cons that immediately threw me off. So let me explain. First, I noticed that the knob where you fasten the quick release plate to the camera and then you put it onto the head, the knob gets in the way. So it allows you to you can't lock the camera in place if you have it centered directly onto the head. So I fixed this by just moving it up, sliding the plate and the camera forward a little bit, and allows you to have space for the knob to fasten it. Now, in most situations, it's not going to be a problem. As far as the way I shoot and the things that I shoot, it's not going to be a problem or issue. But there are situations where you just may need to mount your camera in that middle position, and in that case it's going to be completely useless because you can't mount you can't fasten it. Now, if you can't fasten it, if you have it stationary like the way I'm shooting now, my camera's stationary on the head, then yeah, it's not moving, I don't have to worry about it. But if I'm in a normal situation where I'm panning and tilting, you can't pan and tilt because it's going to slide and it can possibly fall off, even though there is a locking mechanism in place so that it won't slide all the way off. If you move it forward, it's supposed to fasten. You don't need your camera and your equipment moving around. That's a no-go. So as long as you understand and you can fasten it forward, you're fine. The other problem is there was times when the head would become unmounted from the tripod when I'm panning left to right. I haven't gotten to the bottom of why this is happening, but it is very annoying. I've learned, again, to work around it, And usually I can feel when it starts to loosen, and I'll just stop and fasten it real quick. And because typically for the past couple of weeks I've just been using it for product shots and just basic pan and tilt motions when I don't have a lot of equipment on the tripod, it's very easy to notice and to fix and go back to do what I'm doing. But that's not supposed to happen. And the heavier, you know, payload you have on, it could definitely pop off, especially if you're in a more hectic environment, you're not fully paying attention. That thing, I don't understand. I've never had that problem with my other my heads, the cheaper one and the more expensive one. One's a Manfrotto and the other one, I don't even know the name of it. It's a King something, I don't know. But I've never had that issue. That's not supposed to happen. So that is a serious thing. It's a serious con, and it's something that you really have to look forward, you know, to pay attention to. But like I said, for the past 2 weeks, I've just learned to work around it, and it hasn't been too much of a problem. It's just one of those things I have to pay attention to as I'm working. I've learned to work around it, like I said, and pretty much I understand that for the price point, it works for me because it's under 60 bucks currently, and I've just learned to work with it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. The other thing I kind of left out is it has a fluid drag motion, which when you tilt up or you tilt down and then you let it go, it slides it back into place. So it doesn't just, you know, fall. It doesn't lock. It allows you to keep your stuff balanced. And despite not being perfect and needing a few improvements, I understand what I'm getting for this price point. And because of that, I can say that the Commlite CM-FH01 is radar approved. Link in the description to purchase on Amazon if you want to check it out, read some other reviews. Till next time, stay focused, stay fit. Please hit that like button, show your support. Definitely hit the notification bell so you can be alerted the next time something else pops up on the radar. Salute.